his age, and the fact that he was currently being paid to be safe. "Hi," she said, her voice a low, melodic purr that resonated in Jack's chest. "I'm Karen. You must be the chaperone." Jack's jaw practically hit the shag carpet. He scrambled to find his voice. "I'm Jack. I'm the armored truck. I'm Jack Tripper, your date, your escort, your tour guide." Stanley beamed, oblivious to the chemistry crackling in the air like a live wire. "See, I told you he was a nice fella, Karen. Very respectful. Go on, have a good time. Don't do anything I wouldn't do." "That leaves a lot of room for maneuver," Helen whispered to Karen as she handed her a clutch bag. She gave Jack a knowing wink that made him sweat. The night was supposed to be a simple, scripted tour of Santa Monica, but with Jack Tripper behind the wheel of Stanley's aging sedan, nothing was ever simple. They drove down the coast, the ocean breeze whipping through the open windows, the salt air mingling with Karen's expensive perfume. So, Karen said, sliding closer to him on the cracked vinyl seat, "My uncle thinks you're a safe bet." "Why is that, Jack?" Jack gripped the steering wheel, his knuckles white. "Oh, I'm just a guy who likes flowers and cooking. I'm very delicate, very unthreatening." Karen laughed, a rich, genuine sound. "I don't buy it. You have a look in your eyes, Jack, like you're hiding a very big secret." The conversation was cut short when the sedan's radiator decided it had had enough of the California evening. A thick, white cloud of steam billowed from the hood, accompanied by a sound like a dying locomotive. "Great," Jack muttered, pulling over to the side of the freeway. "Just great. Stanley's car has the stamina of a 100-year-old turtle." "It's okay," Karen said, not seeming bothered at all. She leaned back, looking out at the Pacific. "I don't mind being stranded. It's the most exciting thing that's happened to me since I got here. My uncle has been treating me like I'm a nun in a convent." "He's a bit of a lot," Jack agreed, stepping out to assess the damage. As they waited for the engine to cool, the dynamic between them shifted. Karen wasn't just a beautiful woman. She was a woman who was tired of being protected. She wanted to live, to experience the world without a filter. And Jack, despite the $50 in his pocket and the ruse he was maintaining, found himself wanting to be the one to show her the world. But there were the roommates, Jonna and Chrissy, waiting at home with a Jimmy cake and a dinner that was likely getting cold. He felt a pang of guilt, a sharp reminder that his life in apartment 201 was built on a very fragile foundation. Chapter 4: The fallout. It was nearly midnight when Jack finally stumbled back into apartment 201. The lights were low, and the air was thick with the scent of a celebration that had gone stale. Jonna and Chrissy were sitting on the couch, illuminated only by a single lamp. The J cake sat lonely on the coffee table, a chunk of it missing where they had presumably eaten the Jimmy. "I can explain," Jack started, his voice cracking. "You missed the party, Jack," Jonna said, her voice flat and cold. "We waited. We kept the food warm until it turned into charcoal. We even sang happy birthday to the wall. The car overheated. We were stuck on the freeway for hours." With Karen, Chrissy added, her lip trembling. She looked genuinely hurt. "We saw her. Jack, she's like a movie star. We're just the people you share the rent with, aren't we?" Jack felt a pang of genuine remorse that cut through his fatigue. He reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. He walked over to Jeanne and placed it in her hand. "What is this?" she asked suspiciously. "Open it." Jeanne opened the box to find a beautiful, delicate cameo. Her breath hitched. It was the very same cameo she had hawked months ago to pay the rent when they were short. She had never expected to see it again. "You bought it back," she whispered, her eyes filling with tears. "I'm a fink," Jack said softly. "I'm a total fink for missing your birthday. But I used the money Stanley gave me to get that back for you. I thought you should have your grandmother's gift back." The silence in the room shifted instantly. The ice melted, replaced by a warmth that was far more characteristic of their home. Jonna stood up and hugged him, a tight, fierce embrace. "You're still a fink," she murmured into his shoulder, "but you're our fink." The moment of peace was shattered by a thunderous, frantic pounding on the door. It was Stanley Roper, and he sounded like he was about to burst a blood vessel. "Tripper, open up. I know you're in there." Jack opened the door to find Stanley red-faced and shaking. "You're out. Pack your bags. I want you gone by sunrise." "What? Mr. Roper, why?" "I saw you," Stanley yelled, his voice echoing through the hallway. "I looked through the window of the sedan. I saw you on the sofa with my niece. You were acting normal. You were looking at her like she was a steak and you were a starving man. That's a betrayal. Jack, that's sick." Jack panicked. If Stanley thought he was straight, the entire living arrangement would crumble. He'd be on the street, and Jeanne and Chrissy would be left without a roommate. "Mr. Roper, wait, it's not what you think." Jack scrambled. "She attacked me. It was a terrifying experience. I was a victim of her New York aggression.